Hi again, this is Kayla. I wanted to explain a little bit about insurance and what that will look like when you come into the clinic. So when you call to schedule your appointment, we will get your insurance information and verify your benefits. You are always welcome to verify your benefits yourself, and that would just be a system that we provide to be able to explain benefits to people who either don't know what their plan is like or just to be very transparent about cost. If we do not have your insurance in network, then we are able to do cash pay, which is $140 for the first visit and then $90 for subsequent visits. To be in network, that means that our clinic is negotiated with your insurance carrier to be able to take their insurance plans, and they are set rates through the insurance. When you get a EOB or an estimate of benefits in the mail, that is something that we can always walk through together, but usually there are adjustments and things written off, and that is just because of those negotiated rates with your insurance. Like I mentioned, if we do not have a contract with your insurance carrier, it would be considered out of network. In that case, you have a couple options. You could choose to cash pay, which would be, like I mentioned, that $140 and $90. We could use your insurance and it would be under out-of-network benefits, which are usually a little bit different, but we could also explain those to you. Or you could go to a different clinic, which would potentially be in network with your insurance. So those are the options if we do not have your insurance in our clinic. Another thing that I wanted to explain is that you could also call and ask for your outpatient physical therapy benefits. As long as you explain that's what you are looking for, then they should be able to give you the same summary that we would be giving you. When you come into the clinic, we will have a list of what we verified. That includes if you have a copay. What this means is that is a payment due at the time of service to the clinic, and that goes towards your deductible. Now, this is just something that is paid up front until the rest of the bill goes through, and then there will be an amount paid either by you or your insurance. If you have met your deductible, then what that means is that the insurance will pay a larger portion. So a lot of plans have a 20% co-insurance, which means when you get the bill, then you pay 20% and insurance pays 80%. If you have met your next amount, which is called the out-of-pocket max, that is also listed on a lot of insurance plans, or you can find that out by calling, and it is a higher amount, but once you have met that out-of-pocket max, then your insurance covers 100%. So basically all you need to know is if you have a copay due and then what your co-insurance would be up until that out-of-pocket is met. Another thing to know is some plans have a limit on the number of visits we are able to do. That will come in two different terms. So there will either be a hard cap, which means we are not able to do any more physical therapy covered by insurance. At that point, you could discontinue physical therapy or you could go to the cash pay rates. And so we have done that with people in the past, and that just means that we are not able to get any more visits through the plan. If they have a visit limit, but it requires authorization for further visits. What that means is that we will file some paperwork with the insurance carrier and they will tell us you can have 8 more visits, 3 more visits. They will kind of dictate how many more visits based on medical necessity. So we will always be communicating that to you if we are close to reaching a limit like that. And then the choice will either be to hold physical therapy until we find the number of visits that we can continue, or just knowing that after the number of visits have been used, we would go to the cash pay rates. For some reason, if it is denied for not having medical necessity or for, like I said, that hard cap visit limit, then you are always able to continue and just pay at cash pay rates. For 3 different patients in 3 different insurance carriers, the charge for a 45-minute appointment could be vastly different. What that will involve is the number of time in the clinic, the number of treatment codes and what treatments we performed, and then also what insurance rates you have. So that is why we like to explain all this as much as possible, give you that summary on your first day, and then answer any questions you may have. When you get that EOB, like I mentioned, it has a lot of confusing things on there. Mostly there will be a large amount that is written off. What that means is that that's the negotiated amount that your insurance has said that they will only pay up to that amount. You don't need to worry. This does not mean you will be billed for that amount. If you ever have any questions, just bring that into the clinic. Another thing I should mention is that with the visit limit on all of those deductibles and out-of-pocket max, they are on an annual cycle. For a lot of plans and people in those plans, that is going to be January. For some professions like teachers and other groups that are through a work plan, sometimes that will be on a different time of year, like June will be when their cycle resets. That is important to know because that is when, if you are continuing physical therapy, the visit limit will reset, the deductible and out-of-pocket max will go back to zero, and so things will maybe look different if you're doing therapy when that time of year hits. Again, we can explain all of this on the first day, but it is always something to be aware of on your side. For cash pay, the reason some clinics don't accept insurance at all and just do cash pay is that it is pretty streamlined. You don't have to worry about all the complexities of requesting visits and getting denied and estimating cost. You can just do a cash pay rate. Now, the reason that I have decided not to do that is because it does limit some people that have Medicare and Medicaid. So people with a lot of those covered plans would not be able to attend physical therapy because they couldn't afford it potentially. And then also if you have surgery or imaging or something that you have paid a lot into your medical plan and you've met maybe your deductible or out of pocket, if we didn't accept insurance, then you would have to pay the full cash rate and you wouldn't be able to utilize insurance covering 80 or 100% at some point in your care. So that was something that I just decided as a clinic to do. Again, that's where you're going to see different things depending on what clinics you look at. If you have any questions, please reach out. I know this is a very complicated world we have with insurance, and so I will be happy to answer any of them. Again, I am Kayla Dean, physical therapist at Roots Rehab in Ankeny. Thank you.